Boys and girls, welcome to Club Evil. I'm Evil Dick.
Evil Dick! Evil.
You're a devil in disguise is what you are. You're burning me on purpose.
That's what I'm saying. Why do they think that God gives a crap about what goes on in that house? And why do they think that he's going to part the Red Sea for them to the Promised Land? Didn't you watch last season? What they did show last season was me in the diary room praying to my God, Fred.
Like some young, tiny, small spaces. Evil Dick. These little gooey telltale.
Hey, you're taking the cameras off of me.
Evil Dick.
And here we are. We're back. My cat and all here for the Big Brother finale. Wow, what a finale! And I want to point out that I'm wearing my Winnipeg's Jets shirt that I actually just got. Was left in Janelle, so she sent it to me. And all you people in Winnipeg, we will be back the first weekend in November for the Comic-Con up there. I'm getting confirmation on Friday, but it looks like it's all set and da-da-da-da.
Who's we?
But well, I know me and Janelle, Portia perhaps, I'm not sure.
Janelle and I.
Janelle, whatever. Okay, sorry, English teacher 101. Okay.
He can only preach on what he knows.
That's right, being an asshole. That's me. James on the other hand. James, on the other hand, is just a kill because he's trying to get a piece of Kara's ass tonight.
I am not trying to get a piece of Kara, sir.
I would want the whole ass, not just a piece.
Well, thank you, June.
Gorgeous in person. She's beautiful.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, not
really
that I met her,
really,
but I
really
saw
pretty.
pictures.
And very
Very,
sweet. Yeah,
very sweet girl.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right, so
What do we think? What do we think about this finale? Are you happy with the outcome? We'll go into details in a minute. I'm very happy. Shannon, I didn't introduce Shannon Elizabeth. Oh, you're over there. We have June and we have James. Shannon with the American Pie claim to fame, but I heard you're like entrepreneur of the year, like some kind of crazy shit. I've been hearing about you. Is that right? Am I dreaming?
I'm trying to be. I'm working on it. I haven't earned that yet, but maybe one day. I'll get there.
Nice.
You have a jewelry line, right?
Yeah, my cousin and I started a jewelry line called Shanson Jewelry. We probably started about this time last year when I was talking to you. When I was in New York, that was when I started making it.
Oh,
so
that's right.
we're getting there. Yeah, we're getting there. So
You're a huge animal activist. When I was on the phone with you, we were talking about Sam Simon and how both of you guys are like big animal activists. And
animal rights, animal rescue. Go ahead.
No, you're involved with a particular group, aren't you?
Well, Last Chance for Animals is somebody I'm working with right now doing animal rights stuff. We're actually going to be in Austin next weekend at a Puppy Mill Awareness Day where I'm going to speak. And we really want to encourage people to not buy animals to rescue. When animals come from puppy mills, we want to explain what a puppy mill is and how horrible it is. And a lot of the animals are sick and they're in horrible conditions. And if you were to visit a puppy mill, it's all about making money and nobody cares about the welfare of the animals. So ultimately, we'd like to get them all shut down. You know, reputable breeder is one thing, but a puppy mill is a whole other thing. And when you buy from like a pet store in the mall, those are puppy mill animals, unfortunately. So
Yeah, it's totally true. Now, I don't know how many of those places are left. When I moved to Denver, there was like a pet store in the mall, and I was like shocked because they're all gone in L.A. I don't know any more though that are in L.A. when I was there anyhow. Are there still?
Yeah, I don't think I know of any right now. I mean, I don't go to a lot of malls, but I mean, a lot of the pet stores actually are working with rescue organizations. They're working with rescues now, and they'll tell you that they're all rescued and the history that they know of the animal. So it's a much better situation. And when an animal doesn't get adopted at a mall when they're from a puppy mill, they end up going to the pound and the shelter anyway. So that's the better time to go rescue them so that you can put these breeders out of business that are not taking care of the animals properly. So
Okay.
always
I applaud
rescue.
that. And like I said, Sam Simon was a was a guest earlier this season on the show, and this guy is like donated huge. We were just talking. Donated huge money to the Sea Shepherds. And the people that donate this huge money get these ships named after him, like the Bridget Bardot, the Bob Barker, the Steve Irwin, and this now there's the Sam Simon ship. So
the Ian Terry.
Wow.
He must have donated some big money. Ian doesn't have that much money, but I congratulate Ian. I'm so happy Ian won. I really am. So many people are saying that Dan was robbed. Dan was robbed. Dan was robbed. You know, I know, and if anybody knows more than Russell Hands, you can't fuck the jury over and expect them to vote for you at the end. Hey, she's got her little doggy right there.
He just came up because I was clapping, so I had to put him in my lap.
Oh.
Yeah. My little peanut. He wants to talk to.
No, I agree. Dan wasn't robbed. Dan wasn't robbed. You have to take into account your jury. And so if that's what you do to your jury and you don't have enough time to turn it around and you choke during your speech, like it's just too rehearsed. It's too Dan.
Elaborate. Dan practiced that speech. You know, I know, we all know. In his fucking head for 2 weeks before. And he was up all night last night after Danny went to bed and after Ian went to bed, rehearsing this speech out loud to the cameras over and over and over. And he choked bad. Go ahead, James.
You know what made him choke? Ian's speech was fucking on point, spot on.
Absolutely.
You saw this little kid. It was that little kid who had been picked on all year. Last day of school, right in front of the prom queen, he walked up to the fucking bully, punched him right in the face, and Dan couldn't recover. I mean, I thought Dan played an unbelievable game, but he didn't worry about how bad he was fucking over everybody else. And Ian's speech threw Dan off. I mean, I'm convinced, because Dan did choke during his speech, and Ian slayed his ass. I mean, it was epic.
Ian made some seriously valid points about, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I kind of give it all to Danielle for, like, letting the cat out of the bag last minute, because I don't think Ian would have done that had she not said what she said. So,
Great point.
Very good point.
None of that would have come out. The results could have been totally different if she hadn't said that. So, who knows?
I believe that if Danielle was in the jury earlier, that she would have voted for Ian. She felt obligated to vote for Dan, which is why she voted for Dan. She even said something like that. But when she was sitting on the jury, she was so... They would flash to her, and she was so pissed off. She just wanted to get up and punch Dan. She was so fucking mad at him when it came out that they had a deal and that Dan swore on his grandfather's chain. And what the fuck with all... Dan swearing on his grandfather's chain, swearing on the Bible, swearing on his wife, swearing on his life.
It's like a pawn shop.
It was like ridiculous. Doesn't anybody know when you swear on anything, you're a lying motherfucker in any of these games? Right?
Apparently so.
This was 6-1. I was shocked. I thought that Jen was going to vote for Dan for sure, especially during the questions, during the little get together at the jury house. She was like, Dan, and I was like, and then Dan's, there's so much to talk about. How pathetic, is it just me, or did it look really pathetic with Dan trying to eke out votes when they're going up there, putting their key in? Oh, and she sold 1 million+ records. Oh, 1.2 million. Oh, I knew that. That was so...
Ian said so. Sad. Ian was like kissing butt up till the end, huh?
Yeah, exactly. It was really sad. So go ahead, James. You have something to say.
I think I figured out the twist for next year. Frank is really Alison Grodner's son. Because there is no way he won America's Choice. No way.
That's what everyone's saying.
He has to be. You look at the hair, and it's like identical.
I think since Shannon's new, if you go down to your bottom little icons and the microphone icon, click on it just for a second, and that noise will stop. Click on, mute your microphone just for a second, and then unmute it. And now it's fine. So anytime you hear that, just go ahead and click it and unclick it. It's in your settings, but don't worry about it.
Yeah. Okay.
So, God, where to even start? Let's start at the beginning. You gotta. I'm not a Dan fan. I'm not a big liar. I wasn't a big liar in the house. I wasn't down for the way that he played the game and this and that. I didn't think he was as good as what everyone's trying to give him credit as being so good. But you gotta give it to Dan. Hands down, this motherfucker, he got people to take him off the block with their veto, like twice. Once with Danielle, who's an idiot anyway, and once with Jen, who's also an idiot, but he still did it, okay? Yep. In the end, he got Ian to throw the first competition. He gets the idiot Danielle to throw the first part of the HOH. They give him the first part of the HOH. Jesus Christ, are you kidding me? Why is anyone going to go like, okay, here, I'm going to entrust you with $500,000 to hold it for me in case I win.
Don't bring Jesus into this. We already have enough Jesus Bible thumping bullshit this season.
No, that was my cell phone. It's not a Bible.
Maybe
the
Dan
Jesus
should
Christ.
have.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe Dan should have informed some of the jury of the things that they're going to see when they go back and watch the feeds, like people like that throwing stuff to them. Because they don't have that knowledge, so they don't know that they've done all this crazy stuff. So when they go back and watch it, it may be a whole different story.
Dan missed a lot. He was under. I think that he had such an elaborate speech plan, and when he actually got into saying it, he's realizing that time is running out, and I'm not going to be able to get to it all. Yep. I guarantee you that kind of stuff was in his speech. But then you get the Julie Chen going, Dan, we got to wrap it up, Dan. Yeah. And, because I can attest to, I'm not good at the questions. Okay? The questions, you're under pressure. You have to answer now. I like time. Just give me like 15 seconds just to think for a minute.
Well, that's what I think threw him. He didn't expect to lose those questions ever. So the minute he lost the first one, he started panicking.
Yeah, but when it gets down to those questions, sincerity will always trump anything that's been rehearsed. Because when you get a question thrown at you and you look like you've rehearsed it too much, then it just becomes like cheesy spiel. And when you have an audience in front of you, like during his funeral, it's one thing. But when you're in a remote location and someone's asking you questions, you don't want to come off the way Dan did. Ian winged everything, and he was sincere.
No, I meant the questions for the final HOH. He never expected to lose that. So I think he was thrown, the minute he lost that first question, he's like, uh-oh. And then he lost the second, it was done. Like, he couldn't recover.
That's what happens when you're counting. Yeah, that's what happens when you're counting your money before you actually won it.
Dan had it so easy technically for him all season because he wasn't forced to win things. He was just forced to do what he's good at, which is talk and manipulate people. And when he came down to that final questionnaire, I don't think he probably prepared the way he should have. He had such an easy time this season with these idiots. You know, he didn't sweat once. He said something, they did it. There was no hesitation. He said jump, they say how high. He sends home Shane right in front of Danielle, and she's already... The tears haven't dried, and she's willing to take him to final two. So he just had such an easy time that when it came down to the final questions, he's just like, well, shit, I should just know these things. And I think that's what happened. And then, once again, Ian's speech bounced him.
One thing I really want to make a really, really strong point on is that Ian survived 4 more evictions than Dan did. Then Dan wasn't even able to go up, and he made that point in his speech. And that was a great point for him to make, and I was really happy that he did make that point, where, he said that, he was playing as a coach, he was, he couldn't be evicted, whatever he said, but that was a great point to make because it was true. So Ian lasted like 4 more evictions. People will come back and they're going to say, because I've already heard online, oh, well, Boogie saved him the first week by using the thing on him. Well, that kind of shit happens like all the time, and you can't take that away from Ian. He still did last that eviction. He was able to go and be put on the block and was able to be evicted that first week. Whether or not Boogie used that on him, that's something like side game. So, but he lasted a lot longer than Dan in the game. He played against one of the best that's ever played, hands down, in Dan. He even, which I thought was a huge mistake, took Dan to the end, and he still fucking beat him 6-1. For someone new going in and going up against a seasoned winner, not even just a seasoned player, someone that's played before, a winner and a good winner.
But he knew that he'd made a lot of enemies in the house, and he had to know, like, a lot of people wouldn't want him to win twice. So he had both of those things in favor. Everyone still liked Danielle, whether they thought she was a pushover or not. At least she hadn't won it before. So I think he was better off taking Dan, because Dan had, like, screwed so many people.
I think that Dan talked both Danielle and Ian, talked so much into their head that Danielle was so liked that he wouldn't want to take Danielle. You need to take me.
She would have gotten more than one vote, though.
Yeah.
She would have gotten.
You think so?
She would have gotten Shane and Jen right off the bat. Shane and Jen right off the bat. She had them.
I think so. Yeah, because they don't know what a psycho lying bitch she is. We know, but the jury doesn't know.
No,
Right.
Okay. Let's just put this on pause 1 second, because I got a call from Janelle when she was in the holding room, like literally an hour before this started. I'm like, how are you on your phone? They went to take my phone away last year. I stuck it in my boot, told them I didn't have a phone. And, I wear all this metal stuff, so I set off the metal detectors anyway, so they didn't find my phone. She's like, I snuck it in, and she asked me for a link where she could watch the East Coast feeds, because you can't watch the show when you're in the room. So I'm talking to her, she's like, I want to rip on Danielle. I'm like, rip on Will. She goes, no. I'm like, Will fucked you. Rip on Will. She goes, no, I'm going to say something about that lying bitch Danielle. Because she talked a lot of shit about her. And the first thing that came out of her mouth was that I was really shocked at what a big fat liar Danielle was. And I was just like,
it was
fell out of
kind of
my seat. I
priceless.
was laughing so hard. She snuck that in there.
She always delivers. She always delivers.
But they've been hitting up those house guests for questions for like a week. They wanted some dirt. You know how they entice everyone. They want that drama at the finale. Other than that, it's boring as fuck.
Not too much, though, because Chembot will implode.
Well,
I thought Will made a great point. Will made a great point about
lying.
Wait. Will made a great point about, he's like, okay, so this guy may have lied to you, but you guys still fell for this shit. You know what? You can't blame Dan the whole time, or Ian. You're the idiots that fell for it over and over and over and over again.
But they've had a lot of time to recover and watch the show, too. Everyone in the jury house still needs recovery time. They're still, like, bitter.
Will's been making videos, like spoof videos.
Yeah, Will's been making videos. Danielle is still sitting there right now in the studio. She's talking to Dr. Zachary like this. The whole time. And Dr. Zachary's talking her off the ledge right now as we speak. She's on the second floor, ready to jump out. Wait until she gets, of all people this season, she is going to be devastated when she reads.
I hope she stays off the internet.
I hope so too, James.
Hate her.
Well, she was still whispering to Shane after they were celebrating at the very end, announced when everything was done, and she's still whispering to him they've got something to talk about, that's a big secret. It's crazy.
She's like, I know you're gay.
She's gonna need a lot of recovery time.
Okay.
How bad was CBS trying to push that showmance?
Oh, how pathetic was that, pushing that showman? And what about even earlier in the season when they were trying to push this fake Ian Ashley thing? I mean, come on. Really, nobody was buying it at all. And then
because nobody was fucking in the house this season, so they're like, we have to do something.
Right.
Thank God none of them should reproduce. Fuck.
Well, did any of us want to see, Rachel giving Brendan blowjobs night after night? I know I didn't. June's embarrassed. June, of all people, please, every night.
No, it can't be possible.
You can see the fucking sheets going up and down, and Brendan's like, Yeah, that's what I want to see. If I'm going to
Would you rather have seen Joe in his bed under the covers by himself night after night? Because apparently that was going on too.
With Brittany sitting right
Shannon
next to
knows
him
her
and jacking
shit.
off. Yeah.
Apparently
Shannon
at
does know
least
her
4
shit.
times he had something going on with himself there.
Okay, if you're Brittany
And
you
still never
know
washed
that-
his hands.
before
Still on
making
those sheets.
he's in there handling the pork right after that. If you're Brittany and you're in the same room and she knew he's jacking off, she said she knew. Wouldn't you say something? I mean, I would just turn around and go, "Stop jacking off."
No, I
But
would
when
just
you
be
wash
like, I'll
the
leave the
sheets-
room. Hold on. Yeah, like I'll
but-
leave you.
So when you wash the sheets and it looks like bleach is on there, wouldn't you take it to the guys and be like, "Look, I know I didn't use bleach on these, so what is this? It's disgusting."
It's not.
He
He
was
drools
probably
in his sleep, yeah.
He's probably pulling an Eric Stein and jacking off into his sock. Eric Stein had these hard socks all around the bottom of his bed,
Ugh.
and he was a double eviction. He was part of the double eviction, so he didn't get to pack his own stuff. So Jamaica ended up packing up all of these Cumden socks and didn't find out till later. Till you see Eric jacking off in the on the feeds, like everybody has it
That's
up on
so
YouTube.
gross.
Well, there's a
Sperm
very
smells
famous.
so bad after a few days.
CBS should have said something to her about that.
There's a very
About
famous
sperm
talk
cells?
show host that is known for doing that before every show into a pillow in his dressing room.
Really?
Who's
Spill
that?
it.
Let's hear it.
Off camera. I will not say that.
You better
Ryan
text me that right
Seacrest?
now.
No, because you might say it. Oh, wait,
I
we're
will not
off.
say. Ryan Seacrest does it to pictures of Shane, apparently.
Yeah, really.
Okay. Okay, there's been a debate online between me and a couple people. I say Shane is just losing his hair really badly and he'll be bald by the time he's 35. And some people are saying they're swearing up and down that he has plugs. And I'm like, this ain't the 1970s, motherfucker. Plugs don't look like cornrows anymore. You know, I just think he's like losing it in patches. My father had those cornrows, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with his hair, but he does the whole like comb over weird shit.
Oh, and
but
he gets this-
he has other
this-
problems. He
this
has
dopey
bigger
thing
issues
going
than
on.
his hair. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
spins
he
to
has-
the left, spins to the right. Sorry.
So how long before his
No
first restraining
singing.
order
No
against Danny?
singing. Yeah.
Yeah, no singing. How do you think what do you think is going to happen with this Shane thing? I think he's going to run for the hills because there's going to be a lot of pussy after the show, and he's going to say this
Or a
crazy
lot of
bitch.
dick.
Or a lot
I'll
of
let
dick.
you know. I'll let you know what it's like tomorrow night.
Oh, you're going to the party?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I want to
Inside
report.
information.
I expect to see some pictures and some tweeting, and then you can text message me like the inside stuff.
Okay, you got it.
Cool.
We should come up with a code word that you tweet, and like the three of us know what you mean.
Okay, let's do it. I'm
But
game.
not on the show, yeah.
So when you tweet Shane is not gay, it really meant that he ducked into a bathroom with a guy with a huge bulge in his pants. Just to throw everybody off. Let's go to the first HOH competition. This was, mine lasted a long time, but this was a rough one. You know, it was like the whole thing was
a
all
rough
wet.
one.
It was raining. The whole yard was like full of rain. They were being banged up against the wall. What other season did they do that? Was that Dan's season where they were
And
it wasn't
drowned.
the final HOH, but it was like, and then they dumped him in the puddle.
Yeah.
That was
pretty fucking
intense.
deep.
It had to
Like,
be freezing cold.
Yeah.
But how disappointing is it that these competitions last 20 minutes now? Like,
I
really?
know.
I killed myself. I was like fucking 8 motherfucking
They
hours.
do
of
it. They do
dying.
it for the crew. They do it for the crew. I mean, plain and simple. But every competition was thrown this year. It was kind of disappointing. You know,
The
there wasn't
endurance
a cast
comp
of
didn't
people.
last very long.
Yeah, nobody
Yeah, I mean,
wanted to
that
win
could've
anymore.
gone a
Nobody was
lot longer.
scared.
They
Hold on.
weren't- yeah.
The pirate ship one did last quite a while. It was like, what, 3
Yeah.
hours?
Yeah.
3 hours ain't shit for a longevity comp.
I mean,
Yeah, but
I mean,
that-
think
back
about
in
it.
the day.
Well, you don't have to talk to me. James is sitting. James is wherever you are over there. James is were you part of the button holding one? Yeah, you were there with.
Yeah, I was in there for 11 and a half hours.
11 and a half hours. The last real endurance competition was season 8 with me and Zach. You know, where we're both hypodermic.
Are you having a heart attack?
Yes, I'm having a heart attack.
Don't start that shit, James.
Raise your right arm. Raise your right arm like this. It opens the passage. I swear to God. I swear to God.
And my nipples.
I don't know
my
why.
nipples really hard.
Your cats are going to eat your body.
You know, the inside scoop with the pirate ship is that 3 of them cheated.
Really?
You were there when we heard that. Weren't
I
you there?
might have been ignoring them. I might have been ignoring them at that point. I'm not sure.
You might have gone to the bathroom, but yeah, apparently.
People said Ian and Janelle. Who's the third?
No, Janelle didn't cheat. Ian,
oh really?
I was told it was Ian, Danielle, and I don't remember who the third one was. It wasn't
Brittany.
Janelle, because she's one of the people that was backing up the story.
What were they?
How'd they cheat?
They were told that they couldn't put their elbows on like the back somewhere to support themselves. And so they kept calling them out saying, don't do it, don't do it. And supposedly, and I wasn't there, but supposedly they said it to Danielle once and she said, oh yeah, come down here and make me. And she just kept doing it. And apparently
that does not sound like Danielle.
There were 3 of them that kept doing it, supposedly. Allegedly.
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 Yeah, this is the difference between a season and when I was on the season. When we did the bat hang in my season, Eric Stein, they said that you couldn't pull your head over the crossbar. And you had to have your legs over the tee, and the thing was like swinging back and forth. But there was a strap to support yourself, but you couldn't pull your head over the crossbar where your legs were. And Eric did it, and Eric was eliminated. And then when I was out, and it was Danielle, Kale, and Jen, and somebody else, Jen did it. And I ran right in front of, like, all the cameras back and forth in front of everybody. She's out! She's out! I was screaming and yelling and going back. And I wouldn't shut up. And they kept telling me to shut up.
He's going to have another heart attack right here.
The fuck off. And I kept going right in front of everybody in the camera saying, she cheated. Look at that. She's eliminated. And I just kept screaming and yelling until they made her get down. I wouldn't put up with that shit. You were out,
well,
you were out.
I think they shouldn't put limitations on any of the games. If something's possible, then it's up to you to figure out that's possible and that's part of your game. Like for everyone.
Take your shirt off, tie it up.
If you can figure out to support yourself, let everyone support themselves. It'll go that much longer. Who cares? But
you need to wrap your dick around something. You got to do it.
I took my shirt off and I ripped the sleeves off of it and I wrapped them around my hands because the strap was like literally cutting and I was bleeding, and I wrapped the straps around my hands, and they told me that I had to take they said I had to take them off for continuity or some kind of crap, that wasn't allowed after they watched me shred up my shirt and wrap it around my hands. And it's like, that's
well, when you think about the pirate ship competition, you have all the platforms that their feet are on are all one length. Why aren't they, if they're not allowed to use other things to your advantage, how comes if they're all one length, they don't make them, the length of each person's feet? Because then you have a small person on there or someone with short feet that you have a lot better leverage and balance because you don't have half your foot hanging over. So if they're going to make stipulations towards certain aspects, then they should cover the entire gamut. But then again, that would make too much sense.
Yeah, it would make it too fair.
That would be too fair. That would be too fair, James.
Because the pirate ship competition is made for a girl to win. The lightest, the smallest girls. Danielle won it the year before. Who was it? With season 11, it was Matt, and Matt ended up winning it. And he's like, he got all offended.
Smallest chick on your season.
He was built like a fucking girl in season 12. He was. Like, what is Matt? You met Matt, right? He's like literally
about 140.
5'2". Yeah, 5'2".
He was about 140. 130.
I think he has a size 3 shoe or something.
He's 5'2"?
He's
tiny, but he's not 5'2".
He's probably like 5'6", 5'5", 5'6". He's really small. So that's why he ended
Well,
up.
when we all produce our own version of it together, then we should make our own rules and show how much better we can make it.
I don't think it would be
And
very
much better than Glass House.
I'm all for that. No problem.
Tonight on Dick Brother.
Big sister.
Danielle.
My first HOH comp would just throw a knife out into the backyard and be like, go at it.
Hunger Games.
It's Hunger Games, yeah, totally.
That's it. Danielle, is she the typical third placer? Totally sucks, worthless? Just like Adam,
Yeah,
just like
but
Jerry,
thinks-
just like Sheila. How many third
But
placers?
thinks
How
they ran
bad?
the show. You're a typical
But thinks
third place
they ran the
person that
show.
thinks they ran the show. Yep.
Absolutely.
Adam last year. Thought he would have won the game.
Jerry, the 90-year-old motherfucker from season 10 that Dan and Memphis beat in the end. Well, that was a shocker, right? It was like, come
Third
on,
place
man.
sucks. Third place sucks.
Janelle's probably like the best third place placer. Janelle got offended. Adam would go online, and she even told me this. Adam would say, "Yeah, I got third place like you," and Janelle would go, "You got third place, but not like me."
So true.
Because in our hearts, she won. She should have won. She's a winner. We all love Janelle,
Season 6. She should have won season 6.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Howie's fault. Howie's fault, stupid motherfucker.
Oh, Howie.
Sorry, I just sounded like Shane right there. My bad. I was sorry. I was channeling Shane for a moment.
Is Howie getting laid tonight?
I don't know. I'm supposed to be meeting them in a little bit.
You haven't decided
Fucking
yet if
hotel.
you're going to give it up to him?
Oh, hold on. We're having audio problems. Beatus?
I'm just curious.
Shannon, can you hit your mute again real quick? Anybody else?
And just keep it that way?
Did that take care of it?
It's the only way you can handle me, James.
I doubt that, young lady.
Oh. Did you see how
about you,
pissed off
Mute?
Danielle was? When Danielle lost the second part of the HOH, the climbing the wall, placing the pictures, and Ian kicked her ass. It was probably 1 minute and 30 seconds. Ian was
Yeah, but
much
he had a
more on
plan.
purpose than she was. Yeah, he was much more on purpose, had a plan.
He's Ian.
And, yeah. And did you see how mad Danielle was? And like
Yeah.
we all know that when we watch the feeds, after that competition, she's in the house saying she wants to snap his neck, she wants to kick his ass, she wants to choke him, she hates him.
She wants to eat him with some mayonnaise.
But
She got in trouble.
that was Dan's plan for her to do that, right? That was all like Dan's puppet. They had decided she was going to go berserk.
But she was going berserk to Dan without Ian there a lot of the time as well. So it wasn't just all the plan. It was Danielle.
Hold on. That chick went berserk like week 2. Okay, this was just like an extension to the entire season. It wasn't like she decided to go berserk the last week. This started
But
like
you don't
the first
understand.
week.
She had to play the game the entire time.
I
And
know.
she's the only one. She's the only
You're
one.
right. My bad. I forgot about that. Surprised she didn't get America's favorite.
Poor Danielle. Ugh.
Okay, let's. I forgot
She,
about
Dan,
that.
and Shane are all shocked at that, by the way. That the American favorite went the other way.
I called. Frank
I'm
winning
shocked
it.
about it.
I
called
thought
Frank
Shane was
winning it.
getting it.
No. I
No.
knew Shane wasn't getting
I know.
it. People said.
I thought Shane
people
or
said
Dan
Brittany
would,
was
but I didn't
getting
think
it.
Frank would.
Brittany wasn't
No.
near as liked as she was in season 12, number 1. Janelle was petitioning her fan base to vote for me, and I'll follow you.
And
on
they're
Twitter.
psychotic.
And
I thought she was
and they
gonna
also-
win.
You're right.
So did I. I thought Janelle would win.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. We all know, and we've all talked about this, CBS never reveals any of their numbers for any of their votes.
Right.
And we
Right.
can't trust any poll, any vote, anything out of CBS. We all know how much Allison and production loved Frank, and they cried when he left. So I knew Frank was popular. I know Frank is not that popular. And I think that Ian would have been on the top as well. Now, is this a new rule? Is this a rule? Is this only on Big Brother that if you're in the final 3, you can't win the most fan favorite?
No, because Janelle won it as final 3.
Yeah, I think
Well,
final
the
2.
Final 3. But the final 3 was different in season 6. They didn't have it all.
Well, yeah, it was less rigged because Arnold Shapiro was on the show.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about them playing out the whole final 3 on the finale, where
I just can't believe that they didn't even have Jeff as a write-in. This is bullshit. I was texting Jeff over and over and over to that number.
But
What the fuck?
Jeff's in the backyard now asking the biggest softball questions ever asked to any of the house guests. Danielle, so how did it feel when Ian evicted you? You know, this kind of bullshit. Where I would have been like, hey, bitch, didn't you say that you had fucking cancer when you were in the house? You said your father was possessed and an alcoholic and beat you, and then you turned around and said your father would be disappointed if you didn't win.
What's going to happen
I would have asked
now
her
with
what
her?
was more disappointing, Shane's rejection or Ian's eviction. That's a good question.
Ian's eviction? Ian won. What are you talking about?
Well, when Ian evicted Danielle, what hurt worse?
Oh.
That eviction, losing the money, or when Shane rejected you so many times? I'm going to have to go with Shane.
She still
Shane.
thinks that she has a chance with Shane.
Yeah.
What about the hug? That was
Shane is
awkward.
leading her on.
Shane wanted her
Yeah,
vote.
he is leading
thought
her
that
on.
he was good. He didn't want to reject her because he didn't want to fuck that vote up in case he was final 2.
And Hippo's almost deadly when they're charging. Sorry.
The questions. The third part of the HOH. I can't remember what they are now. Maybe you guys can help me out. The first question was the Ashley question. Was it the most shocking or surprising thing in the season? Is that what it was?
What
Or the
was
most
her
fun
favorite
thing, the
moment
best
in the
thing?
season?
Yeah, the favorite
was
moment.
it when she had the
Her
ice cream
favorite
party
moment.
with Frank? Yeah.
Yeah, or ice cream party with Frank. She said when she was dry humping Frank. And both of them get that one right. The second question was Joe and his
Joe.
10 alliances was the answer. They both got that one right. And this is where it went completely south for Dan.
Brittany.
But we all heard Dan talking about throwing this competition to Ian because he knew Ian was going to take him to the final 2 because he had instilled all of this fear that Danielle would beat him in the final 2. The Brittany question, what was the most embarrassing? The Quack Pack. Really? How could he not know that I knew that? Should he
What,
not?
that,
I don't
that
think
it
Dan
was
threw
about
it.
trading cigarettes?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That
right.
was
It was
the
the trading
answer.
cigarettes one. That's right.
Yeah,
I think if
I
Dan
didn't know
threw
that.
it, he would have given us his like little smirky smirks, like to let America know, hey, I'm
he
throwing
said,
it.
He said to Ian, like, right as they were going to commercial, how did you know the Britney question? Like, I really
Yeah.
didn't know that one. You heard him say that, so he said he
Yeah.
wasn't trying to throw it.
I have to run for 1 minute. Noah's crying.
Oh, I knew I heard something in the background there. And it's
Aw.
the baby. I thought it was.
Dick's like, I'm ignoring my kids in the background.
Oh, so that's
Well,
not
I
her
always
husband,
did.
Noah?
No.
Noah's
You were actually allowed of...
Me
No,
with
we
that?
don't have to pause, do we?
No, we can keep going. We don't need a. She'll be fine. So then we went to the Frank question, which I can't remember what the hell the question that was. What was that question? Anybody? Shannon seems to have like the best moment here.
Frank. Oh, what hurt him most in the house? Was it that everyone lied to him? Or that he was
Oh,
backstabbed
when he
so
ate-
much? Something like that?
No,
It-
being
it
on the
was
block
something like
6
that.
times.
Oh, yeah.
The answer was the being on the block 6 times.
That was a softball question. That's just fucking retarded. I mean, the whole show boiled down to Ian's speech because we all knew Dan was going to come hard. We all knew that, half the jury was going to be personal. But the point was Ian's speech, I think, is what made the entire show, and that's the exact reason why he won. Because everybody else was thinking Ian didn't stand a chance.
Oh, I thought Ian stood a chance, and I've been saying.
Well, I'm
it
talking
for-
about the majority.
It'd be a closer vote. It would be a closer vote if Danielle wouldn't have brought to light, I think, what she said.
Yeah, which is
Well,
funny
you have to
because
remember,
Dan.
Ian stood up for himself and wasn't taking Dan's bullshit. When Dan came out and said, I played him, he didn't do anything, Ian's sitting there going, what? And then
Right.
he's like getting
He gave
pissed
it up
off.
right away.
And that's when he's that's when he's realizing that Dan's fucking him over. And he still
The
doesn't
first
realize
question.
that Dan, and he doesn't realize that Dan, he's going to find out that Dan tried to get Ian out 3 separate times at least, right? And he won veto twice. And then he tried to get him out this week, and Dan couldn't get him out. But when he realized that he was going to take Danielle, it pissed him off. And Dan's saying stuff, and Ian's sitting there going, bull, 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 bull.
I loved it.
I didn't know. I had to zoom in. I had to zoom in on the TV because you know how Ian does that rocking in the hammock, and he starts repeating stuff over and over. I'm like, is he answering bullshit to every one of these questions, or is he just doing the rocking thing? I'm like, no, he's actually saying bull. So.
Yeah,
Danielle's question is kind of what did Dan in also.
Danielle told him days ago that Dan was going to start throwing him under the bus in his speech. And he's like, yeah, probably. And so I think he was expecting it when the main speeches came. But when he got it, first question, he started throwing him under the bus. He's like, I got to change tactics.
Fuck? Yeah.
I don't even know if it was the first question. I think it was the first question that was posed to Ian, and Dan kept interrupting, and Julie even had to tell Dan to be quiet. This isn't your question.
But Julie let Dan go on way too long on that one. Julie let Dan go on way too long on that one. It's not question and rebuttal. It's fucking question for Ian. That one lasted a little bit too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
We can all just sit here and stare at each other now.
Oh, we're being so polite.
Next questions.
No, but James, to your point about Danielle screwing Dan in the end with her question, I think that Dan would have lost regardless, but it would have been maybe a 5-2 vote instead of a 6-1 vote. I think Dan had no chance of winning the $500K tonight.
Yeah, they probably
I think that
edited the whole jury thing to make us think that, but knowing full well that it really wasn't going that way. They just pulled out the little piece that sounded like they gave a crap about Dan. So
because we actually talked about this 2 weeks ago, and we thought that Ian would win easily 6-1 or 5-2.
Yeah.
I guess since I don't watch the feeds or any of that shit, or I missed the past 2 shows because why watch them? Not shit happening.
Yeah.
That
the last one was
I was kind of being.
People are like, oh, you're going to do a recap of the last show? I'm like, it's a recap show. I'm not doing a recap of a recap
What are we going to do?
Recap.
It's like
a recap of a recap
the last few After Darks. The last few After Darks had so much happening. You should recap those. Ian, swinging.
Thank you, super fan.
Squeak for 5 hours.
And Danielle's on the fucking alligator dry humping it in the pool the whole time. Oh, my God.
Poor alligator.
Seriously.
I thought
that
Ian was a dummy by taking Dan. I thought it would have been the greatest blindside of the entire season had Ian turned around and said, sorry, Dan, I was playing you, Jack. Come on, Danielle. I would have hit the fucking floor. But Ian played true to himself. Ian wasn't a big liar. Ian played and got Boogie out of the goddamn game, which was his coach.
An epic move.
And it was a great move.
But he should not have told him as he was going out the door. That was a big mistake. He should not have said anything. That
he didn't have to.
We talked about that yesterday.
He wasn't on the jury.
Really stupid.
He wasn't on the jury anyway, though. Who cares?
Yeah. Well, and then it wouldn't have gotten back to Frank, and everything could have played out a little bit smoother for him after that, rather than all the blow-ups with Frank. Frank wouldn't have known.
Or Frank would have believed it less. Yeah, Frank would have believed it less because everyone eventually went to him about Ian anyway, but he would have been less likely to believe them 100%.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
here's a question for you guys. Did Frank vote for Ian, or did Frank vote against Dan?
Against Dan.
Because it's the same, but it is different. Okay, did Shane vote for Ian, or did Shane vote against Dan?
Against Dan.
Yeah. Because he would have voted for Danielle had it been Ian and Danielle.
I think that Frank and Shane would have voted for Ted the Teddy Bear versus Dan. Really?
Yes.
Oh yeah, pretty much. They were just that bitter. And the funny thing is normally you don't see the guys that are the great competitors of the season voting personally. You know, these guys are talking about oh, they're the badasses of the season. They're the competitors that have to fight every week. Well, then why can't you just respect that you got your fucking ass whooped at this game and vote like a man instead of sitting there talking shit about the other team in the locker room? It was.
Well,
I thought it was kind of bullshit.
Well,
you know what I mean?
It's Dan's fault because Dan made it personal. Dan swearing on the Bible when Frank is a religious guy.
Dude,
Dan making
when you walk into that
making
house, there's nothing personal.
Yeah.
Nothing
But at
personal in
the
the
same
house when you
time,
walk through the doors.
Hold up, when you're Final Four and some guy that you're trusting swears up and down and then fucks you, I'm sorry, I wouldn't be happy about it. I haven't had to vote for anybody, but I wouldn't be happy about it, and I would go out of my way to make him look like a complete dickhead in the final questions and everything else.
All right, so who's hold on real quick because really quick, how did Shane get on the block, Dick? How did Shane get on the block?
Because Danielle's an idiot.
Girl, yeah.
Okay,
exactly.
so is that whose fault is that? That's Danielle's fault. That's not Dan's fault. You know what I mean?
But it is also Shane's fault because Shane didn't go, listen, bitch, are you fucking crazy?
Yeah, Shane should have been like, what? Yeah, Shane should have been like, when she said that, all right, now ask me that question again. What?
I mean, he did say no later, but on the televised show, they only showed us the portion where Shane's like, okay, I'll go up. He did say later no, but like he should have smacked her upside the head, yeah.
But yeah, well that's it. Granted, she was pretty much straddling him when she said she was gonna do it. What's he gonna say?
He should have been just gasping for air at that point.
Yeah.
But the question is, like, would the voting with some people like Frank, how would the voting have gone if it was Danielle and Dan in the final two? Because he doesn't respect Danielle's game, she's a puppet, and he doesn't like Dan. What does he do? Brittany might have gone for Dan because she respected his game, or they made it look that way because she just didn't like Danielle. But,
I think they would have crushed Danielle in the question and answer.
She didn't vote for Dan. She voted for Ian. Every vote was 6-1.
But I'm saying if it was Danielle.
I actually voted for George.
Oh, if it was Danielle. Danielle
if
against...
If it was Danielle.
Dan?
It would have mattered the questioning.
People that hated Dan might have swayed toward him,
Because
Danielle would have folded under the pressure. Dan would have made Danielle cry during the questioning. If he would have interrupted her... Like it's funny, but it's also the truth. Danielle would have been in tears during this and probably pissed herself in the eviction chair.
She might have caught a few flies in her mouth. Her jaw would be dropped to the ground again.
But then I feel like she would have come back biting because she was so angry. We saw how pissed she was.
I don't know if she can recover that fast, though. She takes time.
She can't.
Yeah.
Well, he would say something. She would about to blow up, and he'd be like, I love you, and she would calm down.
Yeah, like,
I don't mean to hurt you.
Yeah, we were talking about
this is just a game.
We call it battered woman syndrome, where it's like, you beat them up, you lie to them, you fuck them over, and then you go back and say, but I did it all for you. Though I did it for us, honey. I'm really sorry. But
I would never do any of those things to any woman, Dick.
Only to Howie.
Role play.
Hey, that's my bitch, not my woman.
Yeah, the thing is, you don't need to be.
Stop being jealous.
Trying to take it to a second level. He was trying to be too much. He wanted to be known as the best winner ever. And the best player ever. And the thing is you don't need to be this gigantic liar about everything to win Big Brother.
Agreed.
I think it all started with the whole funeral thing.
The show just aired. She's watching it in Colorado time. And June knows Amy. She comes in. James met Amy too. She's like, hey, Ian won. She's crying. She's so happy.
Aww. I'm going to see her next month. I'm so excited.
She wasn't thrilled with Dan. So
we can celebrate when she's here.
Yeah, we're still trying to make plans for the whole trip, and because we're flying buddy passes and all that. We're going to Ireland, and we're talking about going to Belgium and making a stop in Ghent and in do you call it Bruges?
Bruges.
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 There's a movie called In Bruges.
Yeah.
You ever watch it? With it's a great movie, isn't it? With Colin Farrell. A great movie. I
Colin
love that
Farrell.
So we want to go to Bruges and we want to go to Brussels. So it'll be like three stops.
Cool.
But we're planning out our whole Ireland thing in the middle of all this. How did you knew when people are asking their questions and Shane goes, here's your question, Satan. Oh, wait, I wonder which way Shane's going to vote.
Shane.
Yeah.
Satan.
Yeah. He's not
Isn't
so
it
bitter.
funny that someone that works at a Catholic school, Dan, this nice Catholic boy, has been called Judas and Satan in 2 seasons that he's been on Big Brother? Come on, that's funny, don't you think?
It's hilarious.
I wonder if that'll have any sort of effect, because I know certain people have been fired from shit they did on the show before. I wonder if that'll have any effect on his job. I remember season 10, there were fans sending letters and calling Dan's school trying to get him fired.
Yeah.
This
I remember
season
his,
too.
Oh, have they been doing it this season? I'm so
too.
glad I stay off the feeds and shit and the websites.
They've been doing it.
There's a lot more people that really despise his gameplay this season as opposed to season 10. And I wasn't a fan of his in season 10, but this season, I was going around the internet a bit, and oh my God, I mean, like crazy hate to the games that Dan played this year. And I think it was so unnecessary. And he, instead of pointing out that played Danielle's game, and he played Ian, and he played all these people, and saying it's only a game. Just keep in mind, it's only a game. Well, you have to, and he should know this. It's only a game, and the game is to, like Survivor, outplay, outlast, and you guys,
outwit.
I just outplayed you. Outwit, outplay, outlast. Instead, he focused so much energy on the funeral. He brought up the funeral like 3 times, right? And the funeral wasn't that great of a gameplay, I didn't think. Brittany was like figured it out after she's like, I can't believe I cried for that asshole, and he did all of this.
She still went home.
Yeah.
She still
Dude,
did.
the funeral was a great move. You can't take anything away from that. That was an awesome move. The funeral was great. I mean, you got Jen eating slop for 30 days. It was a good move.
Why did he need the funeral when he already had Jen taking him off the block?
Because they're all fucking morons, and they needed to get Brittany out of the house, because you said yourself Brittany caught on to that shit, and he knew that, and he was like, all right, well, now we're going to take out the biggest threat to Dan's game, and that at that point was Brittany. And I think it was a great move all around. I mean, you just don't like Dan. You don't like Dan as a winner. But Dan is a good player.
Personally, I like Dan. I think he's all right.
Bro, holy shit. He had a heart attack.
I'm just not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of liars in real life or in a house. I enjoyed Dr. Will because he owned it. And he had so much.
You should pet your cat right now.
Well, I mean, Dan tried to own it. Dan started using words like despicable and dishonest and ruthless to describe himself, but it was too late. And I want to know why he felt like he was forced to play the way he did. He used that word. I was forced to. And I'm like, who forced you? No one. You chose to play that way.
He said he was forced to because he kept kissing everybody else's ass. He's like, oh, Shane, you're so much better physically. Frank, you're better physically. All you guys are smarter than me. I was forced to play this way. That's why he was trying to make excuses for his game. He should have owned it and been like, you know what, motherfuckers? You read the same contract I did. There were no rules in this house. I don't know if these are even your real names you gave me. I'll find out after the show. But the one thing we're going to be certain is that you guys... shut up. You know what I mean? I have friends in the outside world. I needed an extra $500,000. Oh, shit, Dick left the call. He might have had a heart attack.
Shut up. You're terrible. Shut up. You're terrible.
I'm just kidding. Alzheimer will be back in a minute.
Uncle Dick.
I can hear now. I don't know what happened.
You're back. You disappeared. We thought you died.
You can't bring my damn food?
It must
Is that
be.
how
Start getting the food delivery.
It's not.
No.
It's not Karen
No.
he's talking to.
I'm hungry. No, I'm hungry. It's like 6 a.m. over here. Oh my God, I'm gonna die.
Oh
It
my
is,
God.
and
It's 6 a.m.
We
I haven't
can
slept.
wrap this up now. Is everybody happy, or do you think that Dan should have
Yeah.
won?
No.
Yeah, you're
It doesn't
happy?
matter what we think. It doesn't matter what we think. I've enjoyed the
I'm
end of the
happy.
season.
Know what
I thought
you
it was.
think.
I'm happy.
I thought it was a great finish to the season. I'm glad Ian won. He is a deserving player. Dan, being as smart as he is, should have realized that there's also a social aspect of this game that he had to adhere to. He didn't. Ian found a good balance, and I think that's why he won.
Yes, and I totally wholeheartedly agree with that. And Ian, as his first time around in a house that he idolized since he was 10, did an amazing job.
Yeah.
And Dan did an amazing job too, but this is his second time around. And Ian, as a newbie, kicked ass, and he deserved it.
Yes, I
Damn right.
Ian was on my fantasy team, so maybe I have a fighting chance since he won.
You should make his fantasy come true tomorrow at the party and like give him a little smooch.
Maybe I will.
He would die. He would die.
I
Yeah, he
want to see
would.
that. I want to see that
Fuck,
picture.
now I gotta go back on Big
and
Brother
then
and win the damn thing.
Tell Ian to also tweet the picture of him fucking a pie while he's thinking of you. Would only be appropriate.
See, James, if you stay, you can videotape anything that happens tomorrow night. You should stay here.
I don't want to videotape. I want to be involved. Jeez, come on.
Yeah, baby.
We'll hook you up with
Don't be a
Shane
voyeur.
whenever you want.
Oh, she's willing to hook you up with Shane, James.
Whenever you want.
MNS.
Wait, who
It's
was
Shane,
the
James, and Howie.
All right, so Shannon, who was the
Frank
one who was
and
nice
Howie.
enough to invite you? Who was the one nice enough to invite you out last night? And this is the
Janelle.
thanks I get. No, I don't think so. Wow.
Wait, you guys,
Yeah,
I
I
have
had
to
to give Howie
run.
your number.
Noah's
Who
teething
offered to
and
let
he's
you
like
stay at their house
miserable.
if you stayed for the party tomorrow night?
June, let's say goodbye to June. Did she just take her
Bye,
headphones
June.
out? And June's
Bye,
out.
June.
June ran.
She's gone already.
I'm gonna take a rain check on that.
Nope.
Do we think that?
One time
do we think
off.
that Frank was Frank the real America's favorite, or was that
No.
manipulated? No way.
Nope.
It
Nope.
wasn't?
Nope.
Who do you think
Nope.
was?
Not Frank.
Who? Who?
Well, you know,
Not Frank.
the reason I don't think Janelle
Teddy.
won it is because she's won that before, and because she was off before jury. So people, I think, were focused on the people freshest in their minds. So that's why,
Shane,
unfortunately,
Ian.
I don't think Janelle would have gotten it.
I think that Janelle didn't play a good
Brittany.
game, and people didn't really like her game. I don't think that Brittany played a good game, and I think the only saving grace for people not hating Brittany this season was the bring, oh, Boogie, it's
Yeah.
Janelle, and
Yeah.
fuck you know? That's the only
Yeah,
thing that saved
that
Brittany
was
this
good.
season. Otherwise, she just came off like a real bitch this season, and I'm not a fan of Brittany's either. I think she's the epitome of a catty bitch. Oh, June's back.
Oh my God, my baby's teething. I feel so bad for him.
You
Pain.
put some whiskey.
Does that hurt
whiskey on
you?
his gum.
Or not me, my baby.
Well, I didn't know if he was biting you more.
She made breastfeeding.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, not these breasts.
I'll put it out there.
June's like, no, my teeth are fine. I teethed like 35 years ago. What are you talking about? All right, well, we're going to call this season a wrap, and I want to thank all of you. Shannon, thanks for showing up tonight. June and James,
Thank you.
Thank you all season long for sticking with this.
You're welcome.
Kind of shitty season.
It's fun.
And having fun and talking about it. And thank everybody, all of you guys that subscribed this year to Ticket Night. I really do appreciate all of you subscribing and watching all of our bullshit week after week after week. Hopefully, I said that I've been done with Big Brother after this season. You know, by the time next season comes along, who knows?
But you're a lying-ass motherfucker.
Yeah, who knows?
I love
So-
Big Brother. You can't be done. We have to do this all the time.
June and I will have a show next year, and you can be a guest.
For me.
It gets to the point where these house guests are like, I'm on the block. I don't have enough votes to stay. If only I had a special power, you know, and it's like, Pandora's box, another veto, you know, and that kind of bullshit just kills me. So, but
I would love that
Okay,
shit
you
my
guys
season, trust me.
because if I'd been on the show, there's probably no way I would ever watch it again. So, I mean, kudos that you're still, like, hanging in there with it, because I don't think I would.
it's kind of rough sometimes. But,
Yeah.
and watch,
It's been fun.
Jerry Manthey is going to be hosting Survivor recaps starting tomorrow, I believe. Tomorrow or the next day.
Tomorrow.
All
right, let's wrap this shit. I'm hungry.
Me too.
Oh, tomorrow, 9 Eastern. Wow, from God Above, or Fred. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
Don't swear on Fred.
Tomorrow for the Survivor recap, I am going to go watch the 1 and a half hour Survivor premiere now. Thank you all again, and your little doggy too. Peace.
Bye.
See you next season.
Bye, everyone.